In this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 players I think you should hold on to and the 5 you should sell immediately. The first player I would sell is Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a great player, but he's on not the greatest team. They're going to have an okay season, but it's not going to be anywhere to increase his value, and at the most, maybe by like 5%. And last season, he had such a good season, broke the rookie reception record. He had the rookie reception record, and there's just no way he's going to match that. And just in general, players like Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, George Kittles, like over time, they don't hold their values. They're rookie cards. My first hold would be Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison is definitely going to have a better year with Kyler. He had a down year, but he's definitely going to have a better year. They have made some great additions to the defense, so that team's going to be much better. And I'm not saying they got an easy division, but like their division's not that hard. Like Seahawks, led by Sam Darnold, the Niners are not a good team anymore, and the Rams are the only other contenders in that division. So they got like a few easy wins there. My next sell would be Saquon Barkley. As much as I love Saquon Barkley, running backs can all of a sudden, like Le'Veon Bell. What's another one? Najee Harris. Like these players all of a sudden are so good, and then they fall off the edge of the cliff. Now, I don't think that's going to happen with Saquon, but I think it's going to be a hard time for him to match his 2,000 yards that he had with the Eagles. Even if he matches it, I just can't imagine it staying. Unless he's got to go like break the record to be able to increase his value. And then teams are going to be ready to scheme for Barkley. You know, nobody thought Barkley would be this impactful in the Eagles' offense as he was. The next hold I would say is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud got some solid linemen, which was the biggest problem last year. The only reason why I believe he had a sophomore slump. And he still had a solid season with that O-line. Their left tackle, I just forgot his name. What's his name? He went to the Commanders. You can look it up. He had a bad season. So they just got Cam Robinson. I'm excited to see how he does this year. And I know Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs are hurt. He's still going to have Nico Collins, but I bet he's going to have a better year than last year, and that's definitely going to increase his value. My next sell is DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf's cards just went up recently, quite a bit up, because whenever any player is traded, it always goes up. I don't think it's going to stay that value, especially going into the season. Even if they do get Aaron Rodgers, right now their QB1 is Will Howard. Even if they do get Aaron Rodgers, I just don't think he's going to be that much better than Geno Smith. And DK Metcalf, although he's a great player, he still hasn't had that crazy of a year yet. Like he I think his best season was like 1,100 yards or something like that. So that's a sell in my opinion. My next hold is Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson had to share snaps with Algier, and I know Algier is still there, but it sounds like Bijan's taken over. It sounds like that's the way they're going. I wouldn't be surprised if Algier gets traded soon, Tyler Algier, or maybe even cut if they can't find a good trade. But yeah, we'll see. And the best yards that Bijan had was when Kirk was playing like prime Kirk Cousin, because they actually had to watch out for the pass. Towards the end of the season, his production tapered off, even though he was still really good towards the end of the season. It tapered off a little bit because defenses were just scheming for the run because that pass game was not good. My next sell is Jared Goff, and I know he's got a chance to win the Super Bowl. And if you are a hard believer that Jared Goff is going to win the Super Bowl this year, then I would say keep it. But the only way his value goes up is if he wins the Super Bowl, or goes up a little bit is if he makes the Super Bowl, and that's really hard to bet on. Like you can't bet. Yeah, you can't. That's not a great investment. that team did not get much better. So I'm not saying that they're a bad team. They're still a very, very good team and a big NFC Championship contender. But unless Goff wins like the next 2 Super Bowls from now on out, his value is just going to keep going down and down and down. Now, if he gets to a Super Bowl or like the NFC Championship again, it might spike up a little bit, but that's the only other time I would sell. And now's a really good time to sell when the lines are really hyped. My next hold is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams got an insane roster around him now. They revamped the entire O-line. They got him even more wide receivers, I think, and the defense even better. And they also got a good head coach with Ben Johnson. I'm really excited to see how Caleb does. I think he's gonna have a great year. And even as soon as Matt Eberflus was out of the building, like Caleb started to flash. Like no, very few. I think he had like 3 interceptions, like towards like the second half of his. That's really, really good for a rookie. I know he started off pretty rough, but I think he's gonna have an insane year this year. My next and final sell, I think, is Deebo Samuel. Although, again, it's kind of like the DK Metcalf thing. His value is way up, or not way up, but like it spiked up due to the trade to Washington. Everybody's pretty excited about him. Obviously, he had a pretty bad end to the season in San Francisco. He's now going to be the wide receiver on the new team, and he's pushing 30. Unless the Commanders, even if the Commanders win the Super Bowl, Deebo would have to get at least 1,200 yards to be able to increase his value from where he is now. So I would say he's a definite sell. This is the last one. My last one is Holden Malik Neighbors. Got new QBs with him. I'm very excited to see how they do. He's the only wide receiver one, really only elite wide receiver on that team. And if Russell Wilson gets hurt, like in the first, second, third game, which is possible, and then Jameis Winston steps in, he's going to get a ton of yards. And he is going to see a value increase in that. Yep, that's the final one. I appreciate you guys sticking around for my picks. Comment down below if you got any more sells or holds. And comment down below if you want me to do more things like that instead of just ripping wax. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.